Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Beth, the Spiral Path Witch, and today I'm going to share with you some of my recent favorites, things that bring me joy. And to start off, I am going to share with you this purple robe. Well, I'm not going to share it with you. It's my robe and I'm in it, and there's not room in here for another person. But I'm going to share my joy in making this robe. I made this robe a couple weeks ago for myself, and I used this Simplicity pattern 8804, and the fabric is an organic cotton sweatshirt fleece from fabric.com. It is a nice mid-weight fabric, so it's not too bulky and too heavy, and it has a nice brushed cotton on the inside, almost a flannel feeling on the inside, so it's nice and comfy when I get out of the shower or when I want to curl up and be cozy and read a book on my couch on my days off. I sometimes get days off, or a cold winter's night. So it was a joy for me to be able to make this myself instead of buying it at a store, being able to use my gifts and talents as a seamstress and the talents that I've learned over the years to sew my own clothes. I might have saved a little bit of money, but really once you buy 4.5 yards of high quality organic cotton fabric and the time it takes to make it, it's probably a wash financially, but I know that I'm going to have this robe for many, many, many more years, and it's going to bring me joy almost every day when I get to put it on. And the color brings me joy. It's one of my favorite colors. So this is one of my favorite going into winter favorite things. Second item are these dishcloths. And you're like, dishcloths bring you joy, Beth? You live a very simple life. And that's true. These are Swedish dishcloths. The wrapper fell off them. They're made of 100% cellulose, so they are recyclable, reusable. You can wash them, you can throw them in your dishwasher or your washing machine. And this particular pack came with this nice mesh bag to store them in, or hang this on a hook in your kitchen and put the dirty rags into it as they're used, and then throw the whole thing in your washing machine and wash them. But the nice thing is that they're pretty inexpensive. It's a pack of 10. I don't remember what I paid for it off the top of my head. But if I have to clean up something nasty like, cat barf or raw meat or something like that, I don't feel horrible if I end up throwing it away. And they last a long time. The last pack I had, I'm still using some of them. I just got a new one out the other day, but I ordered some of these for Christmas gifts, so I ordered myself a few while I was doing that. And on a note about that, these I did order from Amazon, and I'm not going to be high and mighty and say I never order from Amazon, because I do. Those Amazon bags and boxes come to my front porch fairly regularly. But I am trying very hard to not do that. The convenience is there. The price shopping, being able to compare things is definitely nice. But if I can find the same item locally or from a small vendor online and support them, that is going forward really what I want to do. And you'll notice that I'm no longer putting any Amazon affiliate links in my descriptions on these favorites lists, partly because my Amazon affiliate link dealio expired because I wasn't doing it enough and wasn't getting enough traffic for Amazon to make Amazon happy. Oh well. And when that happened, I sat and thought about it for a minute, and I thought, that's okay. I'm not making, like 1 or 2% from anybody that clicks through. That's not worth it to me to sell my soul to Jeff Bezos. So I've decided not to try to renew that at this point. And I haven't really looked into other affiliate programs. I'm guessing, if I do a little research, and if you know of any, please put them in the comments. Affiliate programs that really follow my same core principles and core values. I really want to only support sellers and manufacturers as much as possible that align with the kind of life that I want to live. This product aligns with the kind of life I live. The source of where I bought it does not. But I have seen these at, well, I guess I'd say Whole Foods, but they're owned by Amazon now too, so it's the same difference. But maybe you have a local health food store, or you can find them elsewhere online. Or buy them from Amazon. It's not the end of the world. Nobody's judging here, I hope. Or third item, I guess, that I'm going to talk about are socks. Again, dishcloths and socks and bathrobes. Yeah, I am living a pretty simple and non-glamorous life here. But these are Smart Wool socks, and I love this brand. There are other brands out there that are just as good. This just happens to be the ones that I bought at probably REI years ago, and I literally, not this particular pair, this is one of my new pair, but I get this style that's just the little ankle sock, and I have others that I have bought. It's been over 5 years, I know that, and they have lasted. They wear like iron. They're super comfortable. They're merino wool, so if you have a problem with wool, I guess they're not for you. They're right in the name, wool, Smart Wool. If they get wet when I'm walking in the rain, my feet stay warm and fairly dry. In the summer, when my feet are sweaty, they don't get smelly, and they're not hot. They don't, like, my feet don't get any hotter. I hate cotton socks. I hate like the white cotton anklets like this, because when my feet do get hot and sweaty, the cotton gets wet and that doesn't dry. And if I step in a puddle or walk in the rain, the cotton gets wet and my feet get wet and my feet get clammy and I get blisters and all those things. So wool is where it's at when it comes to socks, in my opinion. And if my feet are happy, the rest of me is happy. So another thing that Smart Wool does that I think is amazing is when you order from them on their website, you can add to your cart this bag that you can put all your old socks in, your mismated, unmated socks, your socks with holes in it. Fill the bag up, send it back to them. They recycle those old socks. They don't have to be Smart Wool socks. They can be Kmart socks. Kmart even exists anymore. Walmart socks. They don't care. They're going to chop them up, use them for stuffing for dog beds. I don't know what all they recycle them into. I know just recently I got an email from them that they used old socks to make dog beds for a dog shelter. I, of course, wholeheartedly support that. So that's a great thing. I really, really, really love Smart Wool socks. This is not a paid sponsorship. But hey, Smart Wool, if you hear this and you want to send me some free socks and want me to make another video about your socks, I will, because I support that. And again, I'm not doing any affiliates right now. This is all just straight, honest things I use. Nobody's paying me. Nobody's asking me. Nobody's sending me free stuff. Some of the stuff, like my old socks, have been in my drawer for 5 years. So the next thing that I want to talk about is not a physical item, but a movie that I watched on Netflix in the last couple weeks called Tick, Tick, Boom. And it is the story, it's an autobiography. It's not a full life autobiography. It's about a segment of time in Jonathan Larson's life. Jonathan Larson is the artist who wrote the musical Rent, which of course then, became a movie and other things. And Jonathan Larson's story and Rent in the musical Rent mean a lot to me personally. My oldest daughter, probably in middle school, so the mid 2000s, became a Rent head. She was in choir. She was a little bit of a theater nerd like me, and the story of Rent, the music of Rent, just really hit right for her. And we went into the city of Chicago and saw a revival production of Rent with Anthony Rapp and Adam Pascal. We even saw Anthony at a tea shop before the show, but we were both too nervous and too starstruck to go up and ask him for an autograph. Plus, it was before the show, and as theater nerds, we were like, he's prepping for the show. He's getting his tea, and he's going to go backstage, and he's got a full night ahead of him in this show. So we left him alone, gave him his space. So Anthony, if you happen to be seeing this, oh my God, that would blow my mind. Know that a teenage girl and her mom saw you and gave you your space and loved the show. And anyway, so Rent had a big part in our life. Kind of Rent and Harry Potter kind of came into our lives. Harry Potter came in a little earlier, but that was like the thick of the Harry Potter years as well for myself and my daughter. And that was just some cultural, iconic cultural events that really we had the honor and gift and joy of being able to participate in together. So the story of Jonathan Larson and Tick, Tick, Boom really was nostalgic for me in a way, but also inspiring, because throughout the story, there are many times that he was faced with the option of giving up and taking a different path and kind of submitting to the man, and not following his God-given gifts and his purpose that the universe put him here for. And if it's not a big spoiler, and it's not even covered, well, I mean, they talk about it at the very end of the movie, but it's not part of the movie per se, that but if you know the story of Rent and you know the story of Jonathan Larson, that he tragically died the day before Rent opened. And so he never got to see kind of his magnum opus performed live. And it really made me sit and think, we're all put here with a bigger purpose in life, to bring something into the world, to serve the world. It may not be as big as a, huge Broadway musical that touches many lives for many generations. But still, we're all put here for a purpose, and we have a finite amount of time in this lifetime to accomplish that. And so it made me sit and look back and think at the times that I made a choice to go this way instead of that way, and put aside that dream to do this mundane thing instead, and to maybe revisit some of those bigger dreams that I had at one point in my life, and know that, my clock is still ticking and I still have time to succeed at those things. So I really highly recommend it. It's also Andrew Garfield, which I find adorable. He's super talented, and there's a lot of cameos in there of some big Broadway names and big Broadway stars. And so that's kind of fun. I actually kind of want to go back and watch it again and see who I missed. I'm not going to start naming names because I'll miss some of the big ones, and yeah, whatever. But wonderful performances. There is, there's musical numbers in it. It is a musical in and of itself. And on that note, I am not a big musical theater fan. I was briefly an actress, but only a community theater actress and high school actress, and a little bit in college. Never got paid, never professional. Not a dream denied. But I'm not going to go back down that path. I kind of fulfilled what I needed there. But in my theater nerd days, musicals were never really my cup of tea, if you want. But Rent was one of the few exceptions to that. I loved Rent and the music in Rent, and it's a shame to wonder what else he might have done going forward if had he lived. But on the other hand, maybe that was part of the whole thing, the whole story. Also, with the recent passing of the great Stephen Sondheim, there's a little, he plays into the story a bit here as well, with Jonathan Larson and Rent and Tick, Tick, Boom. So if you're a Sondheim fan, there's not a cameo by Sondheim, but Sondheim is a part of the story. So I highly recommend it. Just take an evening, watch it. Even if you're not a Broadway person at all or a theater person, I think you would enjoy it. But so my last item is another mundane, practical item. It is these super cubes. Do I have that up? Yes, super cubes. You can't really see it because I put this in the dishwasher a few times and it's getting a little wonky, but I love these. What I have been trying to do a lot more of recently is either prepare food, like do kind of some food prep once or twice a week, or because I live alone and I'm feeding only myself, but I love making soup, and make my own chicken stock and beef broth and vegetable broth, things like that. But I can't eat it all before it goes bad. These kind of silicone ice cube trays or super cubes are wonderful for portioning things out, putting them in the freezer. Then you pop them out of here and you put them in a freezer bag or something like that, and they store really nicely. The cube shape stack nicely in your freezer. So I highly recommend these. This one, these are the 1 cup. Each section is 1 cup, which is perfect. 1 cup of soup. I can pop this out, heat it up, and have soup for dinner or lunch really quickly, and just have the amount. Or if I make chicken broth or chicken stock, beef broth in, and then freeze them in here, when I'm making a recipe later that calls for 2 cups of beef broth, I can just go to the bag that has the beef broth cubes in it, pull out 2 of them, and I'm good to go. I have other sizes. They do make these in like double, like 2 cup sections. So if you're, maybe cooking for more than 1 person, that would be a way to do it. Other thing I like is this lid snaps on and is very tight, but it also has this rigid top, so they're not floppy when I go to put them in the freezer. They hold up really nicely. Again, this is an Amazon item, but you might be able to find them elsewhere. And I have different sizes. I have some that are just like almost like an ice cream scoop size, and they're actually in the freezer right now with yogurt in them, because after Thanksgiving, my local grocery store had this good organic yogurt, 2 for 1. So I bought 2 big tubs of yogurt, and I will not eat that much yogurt in the time it takes. So I portioned one of the tubs of yogurt into these smaller little portions and are in the freezer right now. And what I have been doing with that is making ahead little bags, and I have on order some silicone reusable sandwich type freezer bags, so that I'm not using Glad bags or Ziplocs all the time and having that plastic waste. I'm really trying to eliminate my plastic waste and my plastic use. So I will report on those later when I get them. But I pre-portion. I buy a big thing of spinach, a big bunch of bananas, and whatever other either frozen or fresh fruit that is either on sale or looks good. And I spend not even an hour opening the bags, portioning everything out, and I can put one of these little dollops of frozen yogurt, not frozen yogurt like ice cream yogurt, but yogurt that I froze, into the bag, zip them up, put them in my freezer, and then every morning I just grab one, pop it into my Vitamix, splash in some orange juice, oat milk, almond milk, whatever I have, liquid, zap it with my Vitamix, and I have a smoothie every morning. I also add other things, but that maybe is another video. If you want to see it, comment down below. Beth, how do you make smoothies? I think we all can Google how to make a smoothie. I don't think you need me to show you how to make a smoothie. So anyway, that also is something. These are also something that is helping me achieve my goals of living a more sustainable life, and a life that uses less waste, creates less waste. I am very happy to say that today was garbage day, and other than cat litter, because I have yet to find the most sustainable way of keeping my cats happy in their cat boxes. I feel like I talk about cat litter every video. Sorry about that. There was only 1 bag of garbage in my garbage can this morning. So I have really eliminated a lot of waste around here. My recycling bin is quite full, but that's okay. So those are the things that are bringing me joy right now. And there are, even though they are very mundane and very practical, they are bringing me joy in that they're making my life easier. They're my own little form of self-care every day, being comfortable and warm and making something myself, not throwing away a whole lot of paper towels or polyester microfibery kind of things that are wasteful and non-recyclable. So good for the earth, good for my feet. Again, bringing me comfort and joy that way, and inspiration and beauty in enjoying and appreciating someone else's art and what they brought into the world, as well. All those things have really been fulfilling my life and have been a form of self-care for me in the last couple weeks. And so I wanted to share them with you. So what kinds of self-care, little everyday things bring you joy that are a form of making your life easier, more comfortable, better for the planet, fulfilling your core values and what you want to bring into the world and contribute to the world? What kind of things, where are you at with that? And if you could share that in the comments below, I'd love to start building more of a community here around Spiral Path Healing. And because it is a part of healing. We're healing the earth by making smart choices. We're healing our own lives. My dog is getting very excited behind me, so you might hear him in a moment here because he gets excited when I talk. But what kinds of things are bringing you joy and are bringing, beauty and peace and comfort to you and in your world? Because that's where all of this starts. We can look to corporations and look to our government leaders and others, community leaders, to make changes that are good for the planet and good for the people. But it really starts literally at home. It starts at your kitchen sink. And so that's the part I am trying to do right now, and really be thoughtful and mindful about all of those things, where I get it and what I bring into my life. And so I'd love for you to share that with me. And if you want hear more about my journey on this path, this spiral path, because we come back around to it. I've been coming around to this kind of thing my entire life. Share that with me, and I will continue to share with you. So please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you will know that I've got more stuff out there for you, and hopefully I can be, help add some value to you as well. So thank you again for joining me. It's been a pleasure. It's been a joy. And I hope that going into this Yule season that you find comfort and joy. Cass wishes you a happy holiday season as well. So that was from him. And I guess with that note, I will sign off. So thank you so much. And I hope to see you again soon.